Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Atoms for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around we're going to be talking about The Punisher, the three films as well as the TV series, all in chronological order. So first up is the first movie that was done as The Punisher, the 1989 film starring Dolph Lundgren as The Punisher. This one, Lundgren was coming off from a few years earlier success as Ivan Drago in Rocky 4. Not sure what else he had going on between those two films, but that was mainly what he was known for up until this film. This is the real first crack at anyone doing The Punisher. Now, this film, in my opinion, it's good, but it really is done like almost like the comic book. It's more like almost seriously based off a comic book. Like it's good, but it's kind of predictable in its own way, and the storyline is just not as entertaining as some of the following sequels or like remakes, whatever you want to call the next set of movies. Lou Gossett Jr. is in this as well. I think that's pretty much the extent of the well-known actors in this one. Not a bad take on it, and I think Dolph Lundgren does a pretty good job. And I think in terms of like an overall, like his physical presence, I think Dolph Lundgren is the best Punisher. Just because typically, like all the Punisher, the people playing the Punisher, all the guys playing the Punishers in the various adaptations are physically fit guys. But Dolph Lundgren is like he's physically fit, like he's a massive human being. I think he's like 6'5", like he's 6'4", 6'5", like he's a big dude, like well over 200 pounds, probably like 250 pounds. Like he is a massive dude, and typically the Punisher is played by a larger gentleman. So I think in terms of a physical presence, Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher is the best. Then we move into what is, for the movie adaptation's sake, my personal take on The Punisher as a movie. With Thomas Jane. Actually, before I even get to that, I forgot to show you. There's the case for the original Punisher. And then, moving into the Punisher starring Thomas Jane. This one, I think, was 2007. No, sorry, 2004. Like I said, starring Thomas Jane as the Punisher. You got John Travolta as the bad guy. You've got a few other well-known actors in this one. You got Will Patton, Roy Schneider, Ben Foster, Rebecca Romijn Stamos, and a lesser-known role, but he's still in this. Kevin Nash played a character in this as well. For me, just in terms of storyline, the quality of actors and acting, the movie production quality, just for me, it's just the best Punisher movie that has been done. The part of the that says no holds barred action. I think that's honestly true. I think Thomas Jane, from a character perspective, does the best job of playing the Punisher. Like, the Punisher typically, like, he's supposed to be this great family man up until his family is killed. And then he's kind of this remorseless, emotionless shell. And I think Thomas Jane does that very well, portraying that about Frank Castle. That's who the Punisher's, the guy's real name is Frank Castle. He portrays Frank Castle very well as a character. He's pretty good, physically intimidating too, but definitely like from the character perspective, he does it better than most. I think just from an overall aspect, I just like this Punisher film the best, and I highly recommend it over all of them as a movie. And then we move into now, other than the name, all three of these films have nothing to do with each other. Totally separate storylines. Like I said, totally different guys playing the Punisher. No relation to that. Last one is Punisher Warzone. This one here came out in 2009, starring Ray Stevenson as the Punisher. This one here, this one is for me is just a straight up action Punisher. Like there's very little story to this. This one here is just straight up action. But I mean, it's still got enough of a storyline. It's a decent watch. It's probably my least favorite of the three, but it's still an okay watch. I'm just seeing who else is in this one here. Dominic West is in this one. And Wayne Knight. All these films, by the way, are rated R. They're adult films, not recommended for a younger audience. And, definitely an interesting one for sure. Then we're going to move into what is my personal favorite, just from an overall standpoint, like as a guy playing the Punisher overall, what I think is the best one, and that is John Bernthal, I think is how you pronounce his name, in the Netflix series The Punisher. There's season 1 and season 2. Now, for me, John Bernthal just is the complete package as the Punisher. He may not be quite as physically intimidating as Dolph Lundgren, but he's still a very physically fit individual. But it's his the I don't know what you want to say, like the way he brings the character to life, I guess. Like Frank Castle, the character, like is both from just like an emotional state, but just not only from an intimidating presence being the Punisher, but just like some of the things that he does, like the focus is just terrifying with him as the Punisher. You know, it's just scary. I think that's the best way to say it. He is a scary Punisher. Like the Punisher in general is supposed to be a scary character. I mean, he's a dude with no remorse, killing people at will, bad guys, wearing a giant, scary-ass looking skull on his shirt, is just, you know, supposed to be a very intimidating character. And no offense to the other guys playing the Punisher. They did a pretty good job. But John Bernthal is the complete package as the Punisher. He physically has the look, you know, the emotional aspect of it, just the intensity of the character. He's just terrifying as the Punisher. I absolutely love this TV series. It's one of my favorite TV series, not just Netflix or superhero series, TV series, period. I absolutely love the Punisher TV series. And it's just, it's a shame it only went 2 seasons. But yeah, just a great show if you've never seen it. And yeah, like the main reason I wanted to do the Punisher thing, I mean, I'm going to be watching the Thomas Jane one again tonight. But also, you know, the Punisher is one of my favorite superheroes, if you can even call him that. I only call him a superhero because he falls in with the Marvel Comics lines. And, you know, I guess just because he fights bad guys per se, as opposed to, you know, he's, you know, does his own thing. It does, you know, he protects the innocent. I guess you can call him a superhero, but he's just badass. Like, I love the Punisher, and the fact that he's human. Like, you know, he just uses his military training, his combat skills, his weaponry, you know, his knowledge and expertise with all kinds of weapons, hand-to-hand and long-range rifles and what have you. He's just a badass superhero, and just, you know, he doesn't take crap from anybody. He doesn't take orders from anybody. He has a one-man army, and it is awesome. So, if you've never seen any of these Punishers, either of the 3 movies or the TV series, do yourself a favor, folks. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, rating them in terms of the movies, I like the Thomas Jane one the best from 2004, followed by the 1989 film with Dolph Lundgren, and last is the 2009 film with Ray Stevenson. But from an overall perspective, I like the TV series the best. In my opinion, like I said, John Bernthal is the best Punisher. The storyline of it is well done. One thing I should say is that it takes a little bit to get going in season 1 because they have to kind of, you know, get the character story, and, you know, they have to build the story up to him starting to act as the Punisher. But once it gets going, it's like a runaway freight train. It doesn't stop, folks. So you're in for a great watch. Now, it's kind of tricky. It was on Netflix. Then they kind of pulled all the Marvel shows. Like they pulled the Punisher and Daredevil and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. And then they came back. I don't know if they're still back. So check it out. It might be on Netflix. Hopefully you could buy the DVD if you want to. The movies are available anywhere where movies are sold. Like I said, the rated R, not recommended for a younger audience. So I hope you enjoyed this one, folks. Sorry, it's a bit of a longer video, but I had 3 movies and a TV series to cover in this one. So we will take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one, all right?